Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. You know, occasionally as Dungeon Masters, we want our players to investigate the whole dungeon and not just run right through it. So what I usually do in these situations is I include what's called lock and key puzzles. So take for instance, you have one door and it has maybe like a gold lock on it. So the PCs need to search the dungeon until they find a gold key. Maybe somewhere else I have another door that can only be unlocked with a bronze key. So in order for them to progress, they need to go to other parts of the dungeon, find the appropriate key that unlocks the door, and then continue on. So I call that a lock and key puzzle, and it really helps as a dungeon master if you want to use that kind of thing to make sure that the party investigates all of your dungeon. So with that in mind, I like to mix up my lock and key puzzles. I don't like to just use the gold key, the silver key, the bronze key, and stuff like that. Although I do use that quite a bit. But today I've got kind of a lock and key puzzle that's going to be kind of really cool. So let's take a look at it. This is the puzzle of the dragon arrows. Okay, so the puzzle of the dragon arrows. Now, the party should probably be able to figure out, it's going to be very, very easy, but I did say the word arrows, and that is because in my gaming session we have a ranger who is proficient with the bow, and we're going to use him as the person that's able to unlock the doors. And what we're going to have is there's going to be 5 arrows, and they are going to match the chromatic dragons, so there is going to be an arrow with a white dragon head at the end of it, an arrow with a red one, a blue, a green, and a black. So this is going to be a fairly large dungeon in my campaign, and the players will have to go to pretty much every aspect of the dungeon, and once they find one of these arrows, they'll be able to unlock the next part of the dungeon. So let me show you kind of what I have in mind. Okay, so this room is going to be the main hub that leads off to the 5 different areas where the party is going to have to use the dragon arrows. So by the time they get to this room here, I will probably already give them a quiver, or I'll probably go with like a quiver of 5 or 6 of these dragon arrows. And so by the time they get to this point, they will already have one of the colors. And I'll probably make it easy at first, and I'll probably give them the red dragon head. So our ranger has the red dragon head arrows, and each corridor here is going to lead to a different room where these arrows are going to be used. So ice, lightning, acid, fire, and poisonous gas. So let's take a quick look at what these rooms, at least the way that I think that these rooms would look, and how they would use these dragon arrows. Okay, so this is the first room. This is going to be the room of fire. So our adventuring party has come into the room of fire, and pretty much this entire area up here is just engulfed in flames. I mean, there's no way of putting this fire out, and if one of the party members goes into the fire, I mean, they're going to be instantly incinerated. But if they look through the middle here, they can see kind of a path through the fire. They're going to see a floating dragon head. So here's my floating dragon head, if you can see that. And this dragon head's going to be floating right about there. And it's going to have all kinds of different colors. We've got red, green, blue, black, and white in it. So this dragon head is sitting there floating. And so now it's time for our ranger to step up with the red dragon arrows. And like I said, I'll probably give them a quiver of these arrows so that in case they miss or make a mistake, then they'll be able to try again. So from here, they just have to shoot the dragon head in the head or in the eye or something like that. So if the ranger uses a red dragon arrow and shoots and hits this floating dragon head, then the dragon head will disappear, the fire will dissipate. Now that the fire is gone, the party can see that there is a door to the north. They can safely walk through here and continue on to the other parts of the dungeon, because now they're going to need to find some different colored dragon arrows. Now, let's say that instead of down the fire corridor, they went into the room with lightning. So this blue stuff here, that's lightning. So similar to where the fire was, this entire area up here is just one big electric storm. There's lightning just cracking all over the place. And again, if a party member decides to walk on in there, they're going to get electrocuted. And once again, right down the center, we have this big old floating dragon head. So let's say our ranger pulls his bow back and shoots a red dragon arrow at this dragon head in the lightning room. Well, now the party's going to be in a little bit of trouble, because that is the wrong color of the dragon arrow, and this dragon head is going to breathe a line of lightning straight down the middle of the room and probably toast a couple of the party members. So what I'm going to use, as far as if the party does not use the right arrows, is that dragon head is going to breathe the breath weapon of the chromatic dragon that would be in here. And if you are familiar, lightning is actually the blue dragon. That's the blue dragon's breath weapon. So to get continue on in this room, they would need the blue dragon arrows for lightning. The room with the poison gas will require the green dragon arrows, because the green dragon breathes poisonous gas. So again, if this ranger shoots a red, a blue, a white, or a black arrow into this dragon head, then it's going to breathe out a dragon breath and a cloud or cone of poison gas at the party. The ice room will have just shards of ice and icicles and everything flying around, and freezing cold temperatures. So again, dragon head in the middle there. The ranger for this room will require an white dragon arrow to be shot at the dragon head. Otherwise, a cone of an icy blast is going to come from the white dragon head. And finally, in the room with the acid, there's going to be just a big old pool of acid over on this side. So the ranger will need to shoot a black dragon head arrow into this dragon. Otherwise, this dragon head will breathe acid on them. Now, if they do shoot the black arrow into the dragon successfully, of course the dragon head will disappear, as we've been doing that. The acid pit will actually drain, revealing a set of stairs leading to the next part of the dungeon. So that was the puzzle of the dragon arrows. And again, just really simple. We give the party a quiver of arrows one at a time. So maybe we start them off giving them the red ones, and they need to fire the red dragon head arrow into the room of fire, because red dragons breathe fire. And if they do the wrong thing, so if they go into the fire room and they shoot a blue arrow into that dragon head, then that dragon is going to use a breath weapon and send out a cone of fire and roast the party. So very important that the players figure it out, that they have to match the color of the dragon arrow with the breath weapon type in that room. So blue dragons breathe lightning, so they need to shoot the blue dragon arrow in the room of lightning. So hopefully that makes sense. Just something a little crazy I came up with, because I like to do lock and key puzzles, and rather than your ordinary gold key opens the gold door, silver key opens the silver door, I thought this would be kind of fun to do. So what did you think of the puzzle? Is there something that you would do differently? And if you've used this already, how did it go? Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and on to the next.